Hey guys, Tim with Defense Mechanisms. I'm gonna take a few minutes today to show you guys how we paint our rifles. We're out on the range, we got a few rifles that need to get sprayed, and figured we'd take you along for the ride. We paint rifles it's an older method. It's off the light fighter forums back in the 2010, 2012 kind of range, and it was put forward by Pat Rogers. He's the kind of guy who presented it, who's been doing rifles that way. A lot of people have painted their rifles like this, but for us it's just a way to kind of pay homage to Pat. Pat is the mentor of our mentors and kind of the lineage of where we've come from in training. And so we're going to show you how we do it, the way we do it, a couple things that are maybe a little unique about what we do, but we'd love to take you along for the ride. Let's take a look. All right, our first base coat for this rifle is going to be camouflage sand. That's Rapco paint part number 30277. This should give us a nice light base coat to start Multicam-esque colorway. So this is the one thing that we do that's a little different than the Pat Rogers method that you can find on Light Fighter, is we're just gonna spray some more base coat. This is camouflage field drab brown. It's a little bit darker brown. We're just gonna blotch this in before we get into the official Pat Rogers method with the military netting. We're just gonna, so that we have a two-color base layer here is what we're looking for. Now I'm going to throw in some darker brown splotches, and I'm using this net here. This net is the Pat Rogers method, right? This is just a camouflage net, cheap net. We've used it to paint a bunch of times, and we don't want to get full coverage here. We're just looking to get some color on the gun with some breaking up shape so that it's not just my spray can pattern, but it's also the pattern of the net. So I'm just looking to get some dots of brown on here. I'm going to hold the net tight in some spots and let it be loose in other spots to get slightly varying pattern. All right, I got a bunch of brown layered in here, so now I'm gonna hit some green on it. And I'm gonna hit it pretty heavy because I can always come back with any more of the browns that I want if I want to tone it down. So I'm gonna hit it pretty heavy with this 383 green. And I'm kind of looking to get some of the pattern by having the mesh in contact, and sometimes not get a pattern by not having the mesh in contact. It all just kind of depends. It's gonna give me multiple different looks across the same rifle. What I can guarantee you is I'm gonna end up green after this. For the launcher, we're just looking for a Ranger green type of look. This is the late World War II lusterless olive drab 319. I've used this on a couple breaching tools in the past. It gives a nice Ranger look without having to get too worried about it. This color is 383 green. This is like a woodland green. This is going to be the base coat for this woodland colorway rifle. All right, so doing the same thing on this one. Now we're adding a Woodland brown. This is 383 brown. Just gonna blotch it in just like we did on the Multicam rifle. Because the colors on this one are a little darker, I just gotta hit it a little harder. Gonna get just a little black on here to kind of get that woodland look. This is 911 flat black. Again, these are all Rapco paints. They are made for military vehicle restoration, so all kinds of their colorways are all based around vehicle colors that the military used, the Marines, Army. They have all kinds of different colors. We've listed the ones we've used today. You can check them out, they're pretty cool. They dry real fast. We're just putting a little more green back on top of this. I started to get a little tan, and so we're just gonna green it back up again, trying to get that woodland type look. All right, well, there you have it, guys. We're getting a little sweaty, a little covered in paint, but that's kind of the basics of it. Things we didn't show you, but hopefully you're smart enough to understand, is tape. If you have to see through it, an optic, if you need it to see a light, you should cover it with tape, right? You can't, if you paint over those lenses, that's gonna be a problem. We always stick just an earplug in the end of our barrel. That works great for us. We typically paint our rifles suppressed so that we're not worried about muzzle devices and threads and stuff like that. But really that's it. You can make it as complicated or as easy as you want. You can hit it with one color or a dozen colors. But hopefully, as you can see, it's pretty hard to make it not look pretty good when you're done. So make it your own, have fun with it, but that's how we do it. I hope you guys learned something. Thanks a lot.